Manchester United are through to the fifth round of the FA Cup, courtesy of Bruno Fernandes' penalty from outside the box. Alisson had no chance. Absolutely rifles it into the far corner. As always, it is the fan calling show. I wasn't going to do it. I'm not feeling 110%. But how the hell can I not do it? Manchester United 3, Liverpool 2. As always, get your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to come and call in. It's Usmaan Talks United. Go to the Twitter page. You know the drill. Hit the link, queue up, all that good stuff. But without further ado, we're going to get our first guest on. Listen, first and foremost, before I do that, make sure you do drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Get your thoughts in the comments. We got Ratface saying, PE teacher out. Listen, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be discussing it. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Fantastic win for the boys. But like I said, without further ado, let's get our first guest on. Our first caller, it's his first time. Make sure you show him some love in the chat. It is Gabriel. What you saying, bro?
Yo, my G, how are you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. Absolutely. Thank you for coming on, bro.
Listen, I'm gassed. Yeah, I'm so gassed.
I've got the wrong banner on as well. Off the company. It don't matter. Leave it.
Don't matter. We won. Don't matter.
Yeah, so, bro, listen. I was saying to my brother, I'm not going to do it because, as I said to you as well, because I wasn't feeling. Mate, I don't give a shit. I have to do it.
Bro, you have to do it. It's Liverpool, you know, like.
Exactly. You talk to me, though. You talk to me.
Yeah, bro. Like,
Manchester United through, man. How you feeling, bro?
Bro, I'm feeling so good. You know what? That was, compared to the league game, right? That was such a good game. Like, in terms of, if you're a neutral fan and you watch that game, 5 goals, and you know, like, that was a proper, like, old derby with lots of goals, lots of challenges going in. And I thought, you know what? I thought, the strange thing about this result was that at Anfield, I thought defensively we were solid, but offensively we didn't click until Cavani came on later. But today, I thought offensively we were like, honestly, like Rashford absolutely smoked Williams, like honestly, a couple times. But defensively, there were just like lapses in concentration. Like Shaw let Salah get in front of him, let him score for the second goal. Cavani could have done better, I thought, with the ball. So defensively today we're a bit But bro, that's, you know, I think that's the first big game against a domestic opponent this season that we've won. So it's such a huge step. Like, not only have we proven that we can beat a domestic big boy, like, you know what I mean, a big team from England, but also that we can come back from behind against a big team.
100%.
Because the issue, because we've shown it, like, I don't know how many times, probably a dozen times against like the smaller teams in the league, but to come back again against like a Liverpool, that's massive, and that shows that the boys are growing, the team is growing in confidence, we're playing better, and it's amazing, man. So you know what, the way I celebrate the third goal, like I didn't really celebrate the first nor the second, but the third was like such a relief. It's amazing.
Exactly the same. You've actually hit the nail on the head for everything you've said. That completely, it was the same. The Rashford goal, I didn't celebrate at all because I genuinely thought it was offside. I didn't really celebrate for that one, but obviously it was onside. It counted. The third goal, I lost it, as every probably United fan. But in terms of, you said quite a lot of important things. First and foremost, regarding the defense, yes, it wasn't great here. Against them at Anfield, we were quite well defensively organized. We were quite cagey, really. We were quite I wanted to show a bit of bravery this game, and I thought we did that in moments. Okay, granted, it wasn't consistent, but that's what you'd expect. And as you mentioned, what a game for the neutrals. 5 goals back and forth throughout the whole game. And you said the most important thing for me was we finally beaten a team that you would class as a big team. Well, obviously Liverpool are, but in terms of, you haven't beaten Arsenal even, who are a small team, as we know. But
we play them next week, but
yeah, in terms of mentality, man, how important is that, man? Because this is a huge win for us, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is in terms of mentality, especially for the league, because like Liverpool are 6 points behind us already. But the fact that, as I said, and as you mentioned, we can win against a big domestic team, because let's not forget, we beat PSG away and Leipzig at home, but obviously we know what happened. But But in the league, that'll give us the confidence to know that we can beat a big team. And now we have to be looking at City and be like, all right, they're the team. Basically, if you finish above City this season, I think you win the league, basically. It's not going to be Leicester. I think Leicester are going to still be there or thereabouts, come March or April. But it's gonna be City that we have to look for. So yeah, mentally, like it's huge. It's huge. And yeah, we go again, and I really hope Liverpool drop points against Tottenham. I pray, I don't,
I want the
like,
rot to continue for them.
yeah, me too, yeah.
They're not winning 6 games as well. We've got to bear in mind, as you mentioned, the teams that finish above City are probably going to win the league. In your opinion, I would probably agree with that. That's what it's looking like at the moment. This Liverpool team seem to be struggling for form, but in terms of what we've done here, like at the end of the day, let's be real. Last season we were so far behind Liverpool, 30+ points. Yes, I know they've had their injuries, but for me personally, I don't care about Liverpool's situation. I couldn't care less. No sympathy to them or their fans. So,
bro, every club goes through an injury crisis.
Exactly.
Last season it was us, and no one cared about us. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. We had Pogba out. We had Rashford out for 2 months as well.
We did have Bruno. We had Martial. Yeah.
You name it, played most of the season, and no one even batted an eyelid. But now it's their beloved Liverpool. Everyone's crying about. But that said, let's just talk about first and foremost, as you said, 6 points above them, huge in that sense, and also the momentum this is going to carry.
Yeah, momentum, exactly.
The game, we showed great character. Yes, and then you got to remember Dave then scored, and then Dave come from behind, and Dave the ascendancy, and we've rode that wave again. It was a brilliant game of football, to be fair.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
And we've rode that Bruno clutch moment. People saying you can't do it in the key moments. He's come and done it when it mattered from a free kick. I've got to be very honest. Well, the proof is there because I do watch him, so I can't lie. When he stepped up to it, I said he is scoring this. And Jermaine Genius on the commentary said he has to go goalkeeper side. And I was like, please go goalkeepers, because I don't think he can get it over. But he's got it over. So I want to just ask you regarding individual performances. Was there anyone who stood out? I'm not asking for your man of the match just yet, but in general, was there anyone you thought, no, brilliant performance, even if it's a couple of players? Where do you think the key battles were? Like, who were the main people for you?
I thought I'll start with the goalkeeper. First of all, I think Henderson played well in terms of keeping us in the game, because there were 2-3 chances that he had to keep out. So Henderson, they have a good game. I thought Pogba, Rashford, always threatening. I thought that was one of Greenwood's better game this season, because he's been on and off, but he's a young player, that's expected.
You needed that goal, badly, didn't you? You got that goal.
Yeah. That first goal, that pass over the top, Merlin misses it. He controls it with his chest and finish it. Such a beautiful. Shaw again. Did I mention Shaw? I forgot Shaw. Brilliant. Brilliant. That's the best Shaw we've seen in 5 years. Since he's broken his leg. Since he broke his leg. So
100%. It's against a good team as well. We've got to bear that in mind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
he looks confident, doesn't he? That's the difference at the moment.
Not only confident, but it looks like he's mentally over that barrier that he had with the injury. Because I felt for a long time he played within himself. Like he wouldn't make the extra run. He'd stop and make the easy pass. But now I feel like he's over it. And that's credit to Solskjaer, because probably like Solskjaer has put the faith in him. But, and also he recruited Telles, which, there's competition now for that place, for that left back place. So credit to the player, to the manager. And that's the best I've seen him play in a long time.
100%. I completely agree with you. I think, for once, he actually got down the ball and got a decent ball in, and obviously Alisson made the save, so to speak. But in terms of Rashford as well, I know you kind of briefly mentioned him. I just want to talk about Rashford and Shaw as a collector, as the comment says, Rashford and Shaw were brilliant. What were your thoughts on Rashford? And does he frustrate you? Because he frustrates me a lot, because I'm like, come on, I know you're capable of doing that. I'm not saying he has to do it every single game, but at least 8 out of 10 games, I want him to be like this aggressive in terms and direct to an extent. What are your thoughts on that Rashford as well?
Rashford, for me, is a brilliant player. I think the issue with Rashford is he's got sometimes decision making. So I think he's improved a lot in that regard as well. Let's not forget that he's got a lot of assists this season, which means that he has to make the right pass and the right move. But sometimes we've seen it in this game as well. Sometimes I remember there was a moment where Cavani got the ball and Rashford made a run inward and then outward, and it was kind of a mess. So I thought, just keep running. In the first half, and I was like, what are you doing? And against Liverpool last week, we saw again when you run with the ball and it just went in no man's land. So I think decision makings in some moments, I think it's tunnel vision. When he runs with the ball, sometimes he'll pick a man, and sometimes he'll just run with it and not even look around and so decision making. But and you'll have to factor in that I think he's still carrying a bit of the injury, the back
And
injury.
he has got enough injured, so apparently it's a knee injury. We don't know how.
Yeah, the knee. Yeah, they'll make the scan
Yeah,
tomorrow. I heard.
hopefully for us it's nothing serious because Martial
Yeah.
is well off the pace at the moment, really, isn't it?
Yeah, but he can play for one. I hope that he's not out, but if he's out, I hope it's just for the Sheffield United game.
To be honest, I would probably rotate him anyways because I feel like if he has got a potential knock, as well, we know he has now. But
yeah, you don't want to risk it.
Just put Martial in against Sheffield United. Anyway, should be
exactly. Greenwood on the right, Cavani up. Yeah,
not long ago as well. So, no, I think in terms of obviously Rashford, I agree with you. Tunnel vision. You alluded to the example that came to my mind as well, which was that run when Cavani's got the ball. I think Cavani ended up actually playing it down to the right wing as well because he was like, Rashford, what are you doing? I don't know what to do with this. But, which is fine to recycle the ball. It's one of the things. But I just want to ask you regarding the midfield, basically. So McTominay alongside Pogba and Van der Beek, what were your thoughts on that midfield trio? Because we've not really seen enough of that before.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was the first time I think they played the same midfield against West Ham in that first half, which we were losing, by the way. But it's tough to say because Van der Beek's a number 10, Pogba is a number 10/8, so he's not a defensive player, but he can play in that double pivot. And I think McTominay's not a McTominay he's not great at intercepting the ball or tackling. And I think Solskjaer, to be honest, I think Solskjaer plays him there for the intensity, for the height, so he can win the second balls and the first balls. But it's such a shame. We just need to buy that bad boy DM like a Fernandinho. Look, we need our own version of Fernandinho, Fabinho, Ndidi, or that really bad boy DM.
I keep screaming Ndidi, man. I want Ndidi badly.
Yeah.
I'd go all out. Even if you only sign one player this spot, ideally we definitely need two.
Yeah.
That kind of CDM. But I know people say we need a right wing, which I agree with. But if you can only sign two players, it has to be Ndidi. And I don't know what the centre back is at the moment. But I completely agree with you. Someone's put in the chat said he takes too many touches on the ball. And you saw how many times did he get dispossessed. And I know Pogba got dispossessed maybe once or twice in dangerous areas. But McTominay he was either passing it away or getting tackled because he was just taking 4, 5, 6 touches, man. Do you feel like that's something that just clearly illustrates that you can't play that role, so to speak?
Do you know what it is? I think the way we play football in general, it's not about keeping the ball and recycling the ball. It's about high risk, high reward. So when you play McTominay there, you know he's going to lose the ball, but sometimes we've seen it in this game. If you remember correctly, he's getting pressed, and sometimes he gets out of that situation and he's free and he picks out a man. So the way Solskjaer likes to play football, it's high risk, high reward. So Bruno, high risk, high reward player with his balls, and sometimes he's not gonna be the passes, whatever. And the same with Pogba, the same with McTominay. So high risk, high reward. Today it worked out, but maybe we need a player who's kind of a hybrid between a Fred McTominay and a Pogba. So someone who can distribute the ball as well as recycling it and who's got a lot of energy. So it's tough, but we need to get into the market and get that gem that we need. Because we know every title-winning team or every good team has got that bad boy DM. Like, Carrick, Fernandinho, Fabinho, Partey, even for Arsenal. I'm gutted.
When you were saying it, I was just completely perplexed at why we didn't get Partey. I just don't get it.
I don't get it. 40 million,
it blows my mind that Partey was available and we didn't get him. Like look, don't get me wrong, he probably would have went to Arsenal anyways by the sounds of it because he's a boyhood Arsenal fan, so it makes sense. But in saying that, Man United bigger pull surely. Do you know what I mean? Like at least go for him. Like, I didn't understand the logic behind it. Let's talk about Paul Pogba. Obviously, then I'll get your just sort of residing thoughts, and then obviously your man of the match. So, what were your thoughts on Pogba? Actually, Jermaine Genius gave Pogba man of the match. Obviously, you don't need to tell me your man of the match is just yet, but it was a different performance from Pogba, wasn't really? It was more. Don't get me wrong, there was mistakes in the first half, which I've already mentioned, but overall, man, he was battling for every single ball, wasn't he? Really.
Yeah. The best Paul Pogba is a hardworking Paul Pogba. So, because the guy is 6'4", like he's a beast of an athlete. So when you get him working hard and backing into people and winning the headers, we know he's got the quality to launch those balls and to carry the ball, and we know he's a powerful player as well. As he's got some pace about him as well. But so about Pogba, I think he's seen that we're top of the league and he just wants to win, as he said. He said in so many interviews, you know, when we win, I'm happy. The second we don't win, I'll be unhappy again. So he just wants to win. And he's seen that, you know, we're top of the league, so let me help the team. And he's got his head down, you know, focused on his game. I thought Oli like handled the situation brilliantly with with Mino Raiola as well. The comments that he made about a month and a half ago. So yeah, got his head down, and I expect this form to carry on. If he keeps playing him in the double pivot, or sometimes you can play Pogba further up the pitch, maybe where Bruno plays, or maybe on the left because he likes that left hand pocket, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So, brilliant from Pogba again. I love him. Like we're definitely a better team with Pogba than without him. 100%. That's for sure.
100%. I think he needs to continue to be played consistently throughout the team, and I'm just happy that he's finding form at the right time. He needs to step up, and at the moment he's doing that. Long may it continue. But just to finish off, Gabriel, obviously I know Kojo's waiting as well and needs to shoot, so I want to get him on. Who's your man of the match? Who have you gone for?
Do you know what? I don't really know. We had a lot of like 8 out of 10s, but there wasn't like one clear guy. But I'll probably give it to you know, I'll give it to Pogba. Yeah, Rashford's a close second. But yeah, I'll give it to Pogba. This one.
Oh, fair enough. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that. Listen, Gabriel, fantastic first call in, absolute quality.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for inviting me. Yeah,
it, man. Obviously, make sure you call in another time, and we'll have to get you on a preview. Obviously, I've got your Twitter. I'll DM you. Just before we let you go, as always on this channel, we're here to grow everybody else. So, do you want to tell the people where they can find you on your social platforms?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, should I give my Twitter? So my Twitter is at Gabriel F0810. It's a weird username anyway, but I do a podcast with one of my mates, and it's called the Classic 9 Podcast, and the handle is at Classic 9 Pod 1. You'll find it on the internet. But yeah, we just have a podcast where we talk nonsense and talk about football sometimes. So yeah, it's brilliant. Thanks, mate, for inviting me.
Absolute pleasure. Listen, I will tag him in the tweet as well, so make sure you go drop him a follow. Like I said, he's going to probably be on you more regularly as well. Gabriel, thank you for kicking off the show, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Catch you in a bit, bro.
Yeah.
Right, okay, that was the first caller. There's not many in the queue. We've only got Kojo. Also, to be fair, it is my own fault because literally this is lastminute.com. I don't know what my hat's doing, but just ignore it. Basically very straightforward. Usmaan talks tonight, which is over here. If you want to call in, hit the link where it says call in and join the queue practically. So it looks like it's just me and Kojo. So we're going to enjoy the rest of the show. Listen, get your comments in because we're going to have... Bro, I'm buzzing. I'm flipping buzzing for this one. Listen, let's get the homie in. Kojo. Manchester United 3.
Yes.
Liverpool, the greatest team in the universe, the galaxy. 2. What are you saying, bro? Talk to me.
You know what? It's been a while since we beat them, innit? And I think they've only beaten us one during that time. Obviously, it's been a lot of draws. So this felt sweet because it wasn't one of those when we look at it and say, oh, Liverpool did this and did that, but we hit them on the counter. No, we were better. We played well. We recovered so well after they went ahead. Like, it didn't phase us. We went straight again, started attacking them more direct. Everyone pulled their socks up pretty much today and said, look, we need to show levels in this game. We need to show that we're back in business. And everyone played well, man. Like, I ain't mad at anyone's performances. There's some people that frustrate me with 1 or 2 things, but that's 1 or 2 out of like 10 or 20. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, man, bruv, and I don't care if it's Carabao, Worthington, Johnston's Paint Trophy, any of them. When you play Liverpool, yeah, you have to smack them. And we smacked them today, bruv. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy, man.
Yes.
I'm happy.
And Bruno definitely smacked that penalty in from the edge of the box. We've got someone commenting constantly, PE teacher out, hashtag. Okay, fair enough. You know,
he's a gooner. King Bamiyang, he's a gooner, isn't
it? Sorry, my uncle just rang me. He hates Liverpool, so he's probably trying to get on the show. But sorry, apologies for that if I've just cut out for a second. Coming back to the game itself, I completely agree with you. I kind of made a comment before the game, right? Which a lot of people said, what the hell are you on about? And when I thought about it, I was right. I was like, I didn't really care about this game. But after the preview last night, I was like, am I thick? It's Liverpool. We have to win this. They've not won a game in God knows how long. And we have to keep the sort of pressure on them. And that's exactly how we did. You kind of alluded to some players making mistakes and them noticeably the defense, obviously, because the goals were shit. Let's be real. But nonetheless, man. Yo, we got the W, man, and no one's even mentioned Oli at the moment. What are your thoughts on Oli in this game, yeah?
No, you know what? The selection was perfect. I'll say that for straight away. The selection was perfect. Pogba and Van der Beek and McTominay complement each other very well, so the midfield worked. The front three worked as well. I think it was actually an excellent choice to bring Greenwood in for this game, because I feel like he needed this game, and
Yeah.
a lot of people were starting to ask questions about him, what's going on. Some just out of concern, some questioning him as a player. And I'm like, bro, the guy's still a kid. Let the guy, come through, let him enjoy himself, let him play his football. And today, he came through and he did his best and he played quite well. Excellently taken goal as well. And, I'm happy also that earlier in the game he didn't cut it back, because I know that was like the easier option. But as a natural born striker, your first instinct should be going to hit the back of the net. And he was looking to do that the whole game. And Ole did well to make sure he played this game, and he looked confident, he looked assertive. The defense, I think, was easy to pick because they've been defending well for the last couple of months now. So, yeah, I'm happy of the changes. I was a bit annoyed when he brought on Fred and Fernandez, not because of the players, but I was just worried about taking off another forward and bringing on two midfielders for a forward and a midfielder, But I think he was trying to crowd the midfield because Liverpool was starting to get on top a little bit, so it made sense in the end. And Bruno Fernandes, match winner. I've told you, guys, listen, Thanos, he's inevitable. That's what he does. You cannot defeat him.
He did that goal as well, innit? A lot of people starting to criticize. I don't know why, but this is what I don't understand about football fans, innit? People think you play a 9 out of 10 every game, 8. So, don't get me wrong, the world-class players play 7 consistently. That's what makes you world-class. But apart from Messi and Ronaldo, everybody else is always below that. You always get peaks and troughs. Look at Mbappe. He's not going through a rough patch, but he was a bit earlier in the season, and then people starting to doubt him. It's like, it's going to happen. And Bruno's barely gone through a rough patch, really. He's had like 3 games he's not contributing. It's just because we're so used to him contributing every single game. But in terms of the midfield, I just want to come back to what you said regarding the midfield. You said they complement each other really well. McTominay, obviously, Pogba and Van der Beek. We'll touch on Pogba shortly, but what were your thoughts about Van der Beek? Because this is the first game in a while. Obviously, Joe's showing you love. Put Kojo and then put my man was. Yes, he's remembered me this time. Get him! Come on! Let's go! I made the place. But yeah, what were your thoughts of Van der Beek? Obviously, everyone's like, free Donny. Man got free tonight. What were your thoughts?
He just did his job quietly. It wasn't anything. Football today is all about, fans are always just screaming about numbers and this, that, and the other. He just did his job. He got the ball, he passed it well. He pressed well, he tackled well, he intercepted well. He did exactly what he was there for. And more importantly, his link-up play was excellent. Right place, right time. The only one criticism I had of him was in the first half when he had the ball on the right side. He should have gone
wing. Yeah, I don't know what that was.
I think because Van der Beek's never been like a dribbler who goes at people. So I think he doubted himself in that period.
Yeah,
but I think
there was no one near him. So
exactly. So you got to go at the player. And in this era of defending where everyone sort of just backs off all the time, you have more than enough time to actually think about what you want to do. So I think he has to build more confidence in that. Solskjaer told him off for that. He screamed at him for that. So when he got the ball next time, so him driving the ball forward a bit more with the ball, building up his confidence again. Guy ain't played in a while. It might be down to match sharpness also. Sometimes you're 100% not there, even though you might be fit in terms of like body-wise, but mentally, sometimes little bits you get back in there. But he did well today, man. I would have dropped him a 7 out of 10, no problem. He was really good.
No, I thought he had a good performance, so I do agree with you. To be honest with you, I'm not even going to really look into it too much. Like you just mentioned there, when was the last time he played? Like, do you know what I mean? He's not played in ages. A lot of fans, if I hear any fans on social media criticizing him, overly criticizing him, I just think you just need to relax. Man, football does not work like that. You can't just get drafted in from the court, and that goes for a lot of the players who don't really get a week in week. Even Pogba said on so many occasions, look, I need to play myself into form or get into the rhythm. It's so important for players, and for him in such a big game, I thought he did all right. I probably would have given him a 6, but 6, 7 still goes in a big game. I thought he's neat and tidy a lot. He does start a lot of attacks without people realizing because he's so good at retaining the ball. He actually started the attack for the first goal alongside Pogba. Obviously, Pogba did that brilliant tackle. He gets wiped out. Great, obviously, from the referee. And then Van de Beek plays the ball to Rashford, who eventually gets the assist. But listen, for me personally, look, brilliant squad player. I was happy with that. Bruno gets the rest. Bruno comes out, bangs it in, and that's what you love to see. Rizal showing love and also support. Sick layout, Usmaan. Bro, I've actually got the wrong one out.
Oh yeah, I didn't even clock that.
This is the Thursday shows that layout, but who gives a shit? But listen, shout out to my brother, obviously. Does all the layout and all the details, obviously the legend. But Cody, let's go to the front three. You kind of mentioned Greenwood, that I didn't really kind of elaborate on. How important, before we go into Cavani and Rashford, how important was that goal for him? Because look, I didn't even realize it's been 10 games without a goal for him. I didn't realize it's been that many. But how important was, you wouldn't have noticed the way he took it, really, to be honest.
No, it's all about just being in the right place at the right time. When you're confident, when you're a young striker, in fact, not even young, when you're a striker, period, you just want to...
Oh, wait, sorry. I've got to get this on because you're going to laugh as well. Joe's report, dear Usmaan, my prior apology to the... does not fully... I can't even pronounce that word. How wrong I was to judge big game Paul Pogba. The definition of magic. He's finally done it. We've got our Pogba back. We haven't even spoken to Kish, actually. He needs to get it in the chat. We've got our Pogba back. And soon... I completely forgot. Soon we'll see the league back. 21 in 21. But yeah, obviously we'll come back to that in a second. Yeah, but your thoughts on obviously just the front three in general, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, first with Greenwood, and like I said, when you're a striker, all you live and breathe for should be goals. And that's what he wants to do. You can see that from the start to the minute he came off. He was just trying to hit the target at the end of the day, trying to score goals. And when he finally got that ball, when the ball went over the head, he knew straight away that was his moment to get to the back end. He didn't look stressed. He didn't look nervous. Head was down, knew where the goalkeeper was, smacked it past him 1-1, no problem, even though Robertson was behind him screaming like a year 4 kid and distract him.
Legit, innit?
So that was weird. Cavani, the thing about Cavani is this, I'll say this very simply. Even when he doesn't score, his maturity as a striker, he's still always going to be a problem. Regardless.
Fantastic.
Honestly, at the end of the day, even if you're not going to score goals, you need to make sure that you are present where they have to always worry about you. And whether it was him in the box or him dropping back, they were worried about him. Again,
I love him, man. Honestly, I actually love him. I swear to God. It's just
he's a king.
Little things, but
he's the gunman, bro.
They're winning the ball, but like you said, being a nuisance, like pressing, just little things, but the guy just doesn't stop. Like 100 miles per hour, and like, he sets the precedent for the rest of the team. But I have to ask you about Marcus Rashford. Me and you've said to me you think Rashford's got a higher ceiling than Martial. Obviously, everyone knows my thoughts on Martial, although he's been absolutely woeful. This is the bad criticism of Rashford. Where is his performance? Why does he not? It's not even the performance. It's the mindset. He's so positive in this game. Do you know what I mean? I know he's up against Williams, but he's getting the ball, and his first thought is, I'm going to run at the player. I'm going to try and make something happen. Obviously, that assist for Green was brilliant. But in general, man, I want to see him like trying to impact the game more frequently. You see with the obviously I don't want to compare it to Neymar or Hazard, but when they used to be in their peak of their powers, and still to an extent, their man want the ball, they demand the ball, they're getting the ball, they're ticking, they're involved, and this is the issue with Rashford. Like today, he was obviously I'll let you say what you want to watch later, but he was absolutely fantastic today, wasn't he?
It's the same thing that me and you have been saying about him. Decision making. He's got the ability to beat players. He's got the ability to create, as you saw today. He's got the ability to finish, but it's the decision making. That's all we've spoken about. If your decision making is on point, it takes you from a 6 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10 player and above from there. That's what it's about for him. Today, all his decisions were excellent. Quickly though, even though he was playing that young guy at the back, I actually felt sorry for that young kid because someone like Trent Alexander-Arnold, who is not
give him any protection whatsoever.
None whatsoever. He killed him. He killed him in this game.
They left him in a 1v2 against Rashford and Shaw for the majority. In the first half, I kept saying at half time in the watch along intervals sort of thing, bro, we're just creating constant overloads on the left wing, just continue to get the ball because it was Thiago having to come across to like cover. And that's not obviously. I know he's capable of doing it, but it's not really his game. Like, do you know what I mean? Like Thiago, I know he's like he can play the DM, but he was having to run across and cover because Trent was literally right wing. Like it's so far up the pitch, wasn't it?
This is the one thing I've always tried to criticize about him. I know that on the ball he's great, but defensively he's just really poor. And he's lucky that he has someone like Henderson, who has that hard work to just run back and cover you.
Yeah.
But when you are playing with someone so young next to you, I know he's a young boy as well, but you've got much more match day experience, first team experience than this guy over here. He's just come from a loan in the, I think it was even in the conference or something. So the Vanarama League. So of course you have to help him out. He had to give him no protection whatsoever. And I think that's honestly something that Klopp needs to address with Trent, because I know what he does for you going forward. It counts for a lot. But you have to also do your defensive duties. At the end of the day, I've said this once, I'll say it again. When you are a defender, your first job should be able to defend. Simple as that.
Yeah.
But shout out to
I do think it's a tactical thing. I've got to, I have, because. Oh, he's on the phone. All right, I'll talk while he's in that. Yeah, I do think it's a tactical thing as well, because I feel like Klopp pushes him so far up to have the midfielders to cover him. Obviously, I know you need to shoot to your other shows, so I'm going to keep it short. So obviously, I was going to ask you about Paul Pogba as well, but I know you got to go. Just talk me through your man of the matches and why you get it to them.
Well, you know what? We can talk about him because Pogba was my man of the match. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about him. Now, dominant performance again. That's what he's doing, bro. He's enjoying his football. He defends well. He attacks well. And this is what I like about him. I feel like he's much better in sort of like a box-to-box role, because when he holds the ball, he can create from deep with his range of passing. When he goes forward, he's always good going forward. And he's got the energy to keep going back and forth. The guy's quality. So that's my man of the match all day long. That's another man of the match for Paul Labil Pogbabes. Don't ever get that name, bruv. That's Pogba.
Oh God! Listen, we'll have to talk in obviously further detail regarding the mentality and the catalyst. Obviously, in comments. I know you got a pound, so I'm not going to keep it for too long. Kojo, listen, thank you as always for making time, bro. I'll catch you in a bit. As always, make sure you show love to him. 3 in the Midfield podcast. I believe he's going to FS Uncut right now, so
Yes.
obviously make sure you go and show them love as well. Yeah, Kojo, I'll catch you in a bit, bro.
Love, bro. Love, guys.
Yes, say no more. Flipping, let's get it. Right, we got one more guest. If you want to call in, hopefully still here. I haven't checked. He is. Okay, fantastic. Right, anyway, so yeah, if you want to call in, very straightforward. Go to the link on Usmaan Talks United on Twitter. Hit the where it says call in. It'll take you to the back of the queue, which is behind the Beal, I believe, at the moment. There's not many people in the queue. So yeah, it should be a good opportunity for you guys to get on. Have your say on our fantastic win against Liverpool. Yeah, without further ado, let's get our next guest on. If you want to call in, Sean, what are you saying, bro? Get yourself in, man. How about the amazing PK? PK, you funny guy. Right, anyways, without further ado, let's get the homie on. Nabs, yes, bro, what are you saying?
Yes. Buzzing, man,
Yes.
buzzing.
Come on, Nabs, talk to you, bro. Your first time coming on, it can't be a better time to come on, let's be real. Manchester United
man.
slapping up, as you said in the DMs, the diapers, whatever you want to call them. Bro, how you feeling, man? Talk to me.
Bro, I'm just buzzing because, this season, one of the main criticisms we've had yet is not beating one of the top 4 teams.
100%.
And today, Ollie showed Klopp on how to play ball. Like from the get-go, you just knew we were there to do business. I mean, first off, the team selection, dropping Bruno Fernandes, one of your main guys, bringing on Donny van der Beek, letting Paul Pogba run the midfield,
Yeah.
and then obviously giving Rashford giving him that, vision and giving him that space to run in behind Alexander-Arnold. And I think that's what really helped us to, get in the inroads that we needed to get the 3, or to move to the next stage of the FA Cup.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, man. Like in terms of the midfield battle, look, first and foremost, right? I thought Pogba was absolutely fantastic. We only had 2 corners today. You being the third, both of which have given the man of the match to Pogba. Jermaine Genius, I believe, as well, gave his man of the match to Pogba as well. What were your thoughts on him, Van der Beek, and McTominay as a unit? Do you think they did their job, or they did? You've got to remember, Liverpool did score 2 goals. We can't really sit. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. But in terms of the midfield, like, what are your thoughts? Do you think it worked, or do you think we need to fix up that?
I think that midfield would have played better if we had played Fred as opposed to McTominay. I think the way he closes down defensively the opposition is a lot better than how McTominay did. Although I think with him, I'd rather play him up forward, swap him over with Van der Beek, let Van der Beek play those through balls rather than have having Paul Pogba do that at the back. I think having Paul Pogba up front with interchanging with Luke Shaw and Rashford, I think that might have given us an extra outlet to attack them. And plus, his hold-up play in the final third is a lot better than. I think today is difficult because McTominay was losing the ball, Pogba was losing the ball because Liverpool's high press. But I think if we swap them over and play Pogba a little bit forward and have maybe Van der Beek and Fred run that midfield, we might have had more possession in the midfield. But saying that, we got through. We beat, I'd say, a pretty strong Liverpool side. I mean, they obviously had Thiago, Wijnaldum, and Curtis Jones as well today. So I think overall it worked as accordance to how Ollie wanted it to play out. And I think moving forward, maybe if we're a little bit more brave and we want to attack teams, maybe play Fred or maybe play one DM and have Pogba and Fernandes or Van der Beek pushing forward.
Yeah, no, it's interesting you mentioned obviously Van der Beek and Pogba in particular swapping roles, obviously Pogba being the more advanced. I hear that because I think Pogba in a more advanced position is where ideally you'd want him because he can cause those problems. And it's interesting to say that about Van der Beek. I don't know if he can play in that double pivot. I do think he'll be able to do a job there, don't get me wrong. And he's very good on the ball, like you mentioned, in terms of controlling the game. I feel like he can definitely assist in that manner. But I think Pogba had a good game. I'm not sure about McTominay. I've got to be honest. I thought McTominay was quite poor today. He's very 50-50. Some games he's a 9. Some games he's like a 4. And so, not in between, really. But in terms of, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you mentioned him briefly there. What are your thoughts on Ollie in this game? Because obviously, it was a huge game for us. We had, as you mentioned, we've not beaten anyone in the top 4. We finally did it. We finally got over the line against a good team.
Yeah, I think, Ollie's decision making with the team, showed that, he wanted to give the other players in the squad a bit of a chance. You saw Van der Beek get given a go, Mason Greenwood. Like I said, also Mason Greenwood, on that right wing today was causing all sorts of problems.
Yeah.
And also the interchangeability between him and Rashford also caused them a lot of problems when we were countering them. But I think I was listening to his post-match, interview, and he mentioned the way we were going to attack Liverpool today was by hitting them on the counter. And I think playing Rashford, Cavani, and Greenwood, I think was perfect. I think at the moment, Martial's, I'm a very big Martial fan, but I think he wasn't quite ready for this game. And I think Rashford playing on that left wing as opposed to him, I think was key for us. And having Cavani up top, kind of guiding them, you should have seen his reaction when Greenwood didn't pull back to Van der Beek in the first move.
I agree with that reaction though. The commentators were saying, no, as a striker, you got to shoot. I completely disagree with that notion. He has to pull it back. Like Van der Beek for the first time when he got through, I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah.
He shot from almost the byline practically. If you roll it back in terms of the freeze frame, it's quite obvious he's got to just lay that to Van der Beek, who's got a tap in, and obviously the second one with Cavani. But in terms of Cavani, how important has he been, do you think, to know the younger lads really? He's a leader in himself, not just with his stature, but his performances, man. He's proper leading from the front in terms of work rate, isn't he?
Do you know what? When we signed him, I was a bit skeptical. I thought, Cavani's probably done. No other club wanted to sign him when he joined United.
Yeah.
And I can't lie, he's actually grown on to me so much. Seeing his performances against Southampton, Burnley, and Fulham, and today, you can just see he's drilling it into the other players and to get into the right positions. And I think, I'm sure at halftime he probably had a few words with Greenwood and Rashford to try and, cut in more and find
Greenwood gets the assist, don't he? Second off, obviously playing the ball back to Rashford, obviously returning the favour. And as you mentioned, in terms of his sort of work rate, man. And you said he grew on you. That for me personally, I wasn't sure as well. Only because he's finishing, the guy hit the post today as well. But in terms of leaders, man, we're missing that. We have been missing that. It seems like there's a bit of a shift in the mentality. Do you feel like that is a shift, or do you think that it's just we're on a good run of form?
No, I think Cavani is definitely attribute to that. You know, he's a proven winner. You know, he's won trophies all around the world. You know, he's won it in Italy, he's won it in France. Now he's doing it in the Premier League. Hopefully,
You about to say he's winning in England, don't worry.
he will very shortly. But I think, you know, one of the key points he had today was winning that free kick for Fernandez to take, and just
clever.
having that game awareness of, you know, getting the defender to come in behind and make that challenge. You know, and you know, even Bruno mentioned at the end of the game, he told him to go on the right corner with the powerful shot, because the way they set up the free kick, it was making it look as if he was going to go across goal rather than go on the goalkeeper side. So him having his input onto the other guys is clearly showing, and it's helping us, you know, win games, which is the main thing.
Yeah, 100%. And how influential is Bruno? Look, you know, we spoke about Manchester United struggling against the top teams in terms of this season anyways. Bruno Fernandes has been well documented. He's not scored against the top teams, and he's banged in a beautiful penalty from the edge of the box. Another penalty to Bruno Fernandes. What are your thoughts, man? Like, you know, I was criticizing him a lot in that game because he kept passing ball away, but bro, he's just got that magic, hasn't he?
He is. He's definitely got that Cantona touch, you know, to kind of, when he's on the pitch, you know that the team has that belief that we can go and win this game. And I can't lie. I'll be honest with you, Usmaan. I've been watching the last couple of games, and I felt, you know, Bruno's due something special very soon. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad, you know, especially against our arch
Bro, he's
rivals.
won it
Liverpool.
against Liverpool, but I don't get bigger than that.
Definitely, and I think I love this dynamic of us having Pogba and Fernandes in the same team, because a team like Liverpool, or if we're gonna play Chelsea's and the Tottenhams, they're gonna have to focus on Paul Pogba, but then that gives you extra space for Bruno to do his business.
100%.
And now Pogba's coming into form as well. We're seeing when the attention's on Fernandes, Paul Pogba's got more space to have them long shots or to do a moment of brilliance. But overall, you know, his impact on this team has been instrumental, and fingers crossed, or inshallah, you know,
Inshallah.
you know, we're gonna win something this year, and hopefully we can carry this momentum and dominate, you know, in the near coming future as well.
100%, bro. And just to finish off, as always, who's your man of the match you've gone for?
Do you know what? I have to give it Marcus Rashford today. I think Paul Pogba had a brilliant game, but I think Marcus Rashford with the ball to Greenwood and obviously his beautiful finish, I think he was brilliant today.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. He was my man of the match, but I'm happy someone's finally giving him his dues because I thought it was brilliant. Just before we go, Nabs, as always, as we always do on this platform, just shout your socials out. Obviously, I know I've got you on Twitter in particular, but if there's anywhere people, you know, can find you, etc.
Yeah, I'm active on Twitter, so yeah, head up and follow my Twitter account.
No worries, man. I will be tagging him in the tweet as always, because of course he's called in. Now, thank you very much, bro. Inshallah,
thank you very much.
After Sheffield United, I'll be hearing from you again. Hopefully, positive news and all that good stuff.
Brilliant. Take care.
Bro. Salams. Chat to you soon. Okay, right. I think I might have cut him off a bit early. I do apologize, bro. Right, guys, we've got two more guests. It looks like it's Sean and Was. Obi Was Kenobi. We'll get Sean in first, and obviously I'll finish with my brother unless someone comes in. I'm assuming Jerry will be coming at some point. But that aside, as always, Usmaan Talk United, if you want to get involved, drop a like on the video if you have not already. This show is literally for you guys, the fans, to come have your say after every single game. We're just fans, just like you guys. Opportunity for you guys to have your say, man. I've said that about 7 times. But anyways, without further ado, the American, or as he calls himself, the Yank you love to love. It's been a while. He's back. Hashtag Sean back. Manchester United 3. Liverpool 2. Sean, talk to me.
Listen, man, there's not much better that can happen in a day than to put the dippers where they belong, in the bin. In the bin where they belong. You love to see it. And you know one thing that cracks me up, Usmaan, it always cracks me up how is there a fan base that has more excuses in the world than, you know, they always say, I know I don't want to give a biblical reference on your channel, but they always say the oil always flows down from the head down to the feet. Listen, these Liverpool fans, you're just like your headmen. You're just like Klopp. You got an excuse for everything. And your tears, we're drinking them in today. I heard these guys saying that, was it a foul on Cavani? It was soft.
Blatant foul.
The man
Blatant.
got kicked through his back of his legs, talking about
Blatant.
soft. Shut up and take that penalty, because that was one of the furthest penalties I think that Bruno has scored. And guess what? He took it well. You love to see it.
Oh my God, it was a great penalty. To be honest, I have got a point. You know, all he can do is score penalties. And you know, regarding the free kick itself, well, if you don't think that's a free kick, I don't think football's for you. Because
exactly.
listen,
even if you're biased,
it's the most blatant foul you never see. He's rolled him. He's got on the wrong side of him, the defender. And Fabinho didn't even complain about it. I think that kind of really says everything you need to say.
Yeah.
Listen, let's talk about the performance in general. Obviously, Klopp will be crying right now. He's gonna be in the dressing room or wherever the hell they currently are, and making every excuse for his team. But let's be real. I think we deserve to win the game. Look, people are gonna say Liverpool in the ascendancy when we scored the third goal, but we've come from goal behind again. Like just talk to me about the performance, because like the mentality wise, I just think there's so many things that we can take as a positive from this game. Not only that we've broken our duck against a big team, but we've come from behind against a big team. The heads never dropped when we went 1-0 behind, did we?
No, I think the thing that I'm getting from this team right now is a belief. And I think the thing I loved about today, let's be honest, you know, as much as we want to gas up and do all the stuff that fans do, we didn't really play well today. I mean, the goals that we conceded were poor. I mean, defensively poor. I mean, last time I was calling in, I was talking about Roberto Carlos. Well, Roberto Carlos left the building today, because typically one thing we've gotten from Luke Shaw over the last year is fairly solid defensively, and he was out of position. Typically, he owns Mo Salah. Mo Salah is one of those players that, you know, again, I'll take some heat for this. I don't rate like a lot of other people rate the guy, but to be fair, his one finish today was class, the chip. And ultimately, though, he got in behind in a way that better defending, that doesn't happen at all. And so ultimately, the thing I love is that I feel like this team has a belief that they can win. And I think that coming from behind and winning ugly games, winning games where even, let's be real, we've won games where tactically we were terrible, where we could argue whether or not the manager got it right or wrong, but we come up with big moments. You know, Pogba's bailed us out twice. You know, we've had late winners. And the fact is, as long as the results are coming in, it builds this belief. And so for me, I think the form and everything goes out the window right now. It's about belief. And people can say what they want, you know, about the manager, but the players play for the guy, and they're playing for themselves. They're playing for the badge right now. They want to win, and they're starting to smell blood. I mean, I think if we can go another 2 or 3 weeks with nothing but good results, I think we can, all of the banter aside, I think we can really start talking title.
Yeah, no, you said a lot of good points. I think first and foremost, mentally, the mentality, it has definitely changed. You know, as you mentioned, the belief. You know, you got to remember. Look, granted, this Liverpool team aren't in great form, but it's quite evident that they show belief. Look, you're 2-1 up. Well, you're 1-0 down. You go behind. No one's heads dropped. You go 1-1. You go 2-1, and then they score to make it 2-2 on the 60th minute. They're in their ascendancy, and then you win the game. So on 2 different occasions, you come back. And you've got to show a huge credit to not only the players, but Ollie for instilling that mentality. As you mentioned there, whether you're Ollie in or Ollie out, well, you can't really make any case for being Ollie out at the moment. But hypothetically speaking, if you are still criticizing the manager, you've got to give him huge props, because that mentality comes from him. At the end of the day, the players are definitely playing for him. He's got Paul Pogba from the brink of what his agent's comments were saying. From the brink practically to playing probably his best football in terms of his consistency, his work rate, its sheer desire to play for the badge, and huge props to Ali. But we've got to talk Paul Pogba, man. I know
he's my man of the match. I love PP. Everyone knows that. I think the thing is, you know, what we're seeing from him is desire all over the pitch. Absolutely. You know, and again, I think that sometimes that desire, when he starts to really, really want it, can get him in trouble, because you look toward the end of the match, the free kick he gave away with it's a dumb sliding challenge from behind. The amazing thing is, when you watched it in slow motion, he did win the ball. with his opposite foot that he come in. It was just crazy how he's so athletic to do that. But it's still a dumb challenge. But I think it comes down from passion, you know. And these guys will say, "Oh, he's only playing for a move or whatever." I don't care why he's playing for what. You know, with Paul Pogba, it's the same as with Ollie. Some people, no matter what, can never give credit where it's due. Their agenda will always trump common sense. And so for me, man, I'm just excited that we're winning again. I'm excited about our league position. I'm excited about this cup run. Anytime we beat Liverpool is a good thing. I thought, like I said, Pogba was solid today. I think for people to say otherwise is just like, it's just an agenda against him. Yeah, there's other shouts for man of the match, but kind of what he does that we, unless you're watching him, you don't see. For me, that's the stuff. You know, the games are won and lost in the middle. And so when he's dominating in the middle like that, you know, if you even throughout the game, I think I tweeted it about Thiago, you know, how that guy wasn't on multiple yellow cards. I have no idea. It's like he's the new, it's like he's the new Fernandinho. Yeah, Fernandinho just kicks people all game, and for some reason, it's not a card. I felt like Thiago's getting by with that, especially in the first half. But we just ultimately, you know, here's the thing. You said it right. The character to keep coming back. You know, we go down, we come back, then we take the lead, then they score, and then to come back and beat them. And for all the Liverpool fans saying, "Oh, we played some backups," so did we. We had a 19-year-old center back. Yeah, well, we had a 19-year-old striker that scored on him. You know, and let's make this argument too. I'll be honest with you. As much as I rate Henderson, both of their goals were savable. You know,
I personally disagree. I think the second one he has to save it. The first one you've got to just say no. Fair. You can't.
No, I'm saying fair play to him.
The first one, man.
But I've you know, like I said, they'll say they have backups in. Well, so do we. And I'm not saying De Gea saves one of them because you don't know.
De Gea saves the second one, I think.
I think so. But ultimately, we still come out with the win. And let's just keep beating folks. For me, this next game is now huge. We can't go and start drawing games. We have to keep. You know, Ollie has to go for it. You know, because if you watch Liverpool,
you just have to be a bit more ambitious with the selection. I thought today is the selection you got it right. I think yourself in the chat as well, alongside all the other lads in the chat. We're really happy with the team selection. I had no complaints. Arguably buying for Lindelof, that was the only thing I could have made a case for. But apart from that, it was good to see him be a bit more attacking with the selection. I think everyone had the same general consensus.
Yeah. And you're right.
United, I'm expecting something similar. I can't see him doing anything but attack a Sheffield United team that are down, you know, in the dump, so to speak. But in terms of the front three, you kind of already mentioned Greenwood as well. But I just want to get your thoughts on Rashford and in particular Cavani's performances. What did you make of them? Rashford obviously was brilliant as well, got a goal and an assist. Massively influential in that first half. Him and Luke Shaw was absolutely devastating in the first half, which we've not seen in a long time, really.
Yeah, for me, I think the big issue is that, and I was mentioning this in the group chat, that, you know, I guess the sport I played the longest, I played basketball up in the college, so I couldn't stand playing with a point guard that would always have his head down because he's not looking up to what happens next. I feel like sometimes Greenwood and Rashford, because they just think score, they don't always get their head up, especially when they're closer to the box. And Greenwood, for example, you know, if he cuts the ball back in the first half, especially when Donnie was free in the box, it's a goal all day. And that's what we call a city goal. If you watch the majority of Manchester City's goals, they're on that cutback.
The cutbacks,
and it annoys me that, you know, and again, you know, even Kojo was like, well, I like it. You got to shoot. Now, you don't always have to shoot. Sometimes you have to do what's best for the team. And so for me, ultimately, when Rashford picked his head up, because Rashford will pick his head up when he's around the halfway line. And the pass he made to Mason was immaculate. And again, you put Mason there, he's going to score 9 out of 10 times. So we know this. We know how cold he is. He just needs to be getting those opportunities. And so ultimately, Marcus with a goal and assist. And then ultimately for Marcus to finish the way that he did for his goal. You know, we have a lot to be positive and take. You know, I'll tell you what, Cavani is eventually fighting one of these guys. If it hasn't happened already, he's fighting, because these South American brothers, man, they don't play. And you watch Cavani, every time he should get a pass and he doesn't, bro,
I love it.
He'll turn and look at the bench, like look at Ollie, like, get your boy under control. pass it.
Yeah.
So,
no, but they listened to him. I think when Greenwood scored, I don't know if you've seen it, but Greenwood scored, and obviously they're celebrating, etc. And then him and Cavani, the last two people walking off, and Cavani's chatting to him about something. He's obviously giving him tips. No, they're going to be looking at Cavani. He's an elder statesman.
yeah.
The guy's leading top goal scorer at PSG. Like the guy's been there, done that.
As long as he can stay healthy, man. That was our biggest complaint, was that
100%.
obviously unless you're completely biased and you're a Glazer puppet, everyone knows that Cavani was a panic buy. I mean, sometimes panic buys work out. So
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knows that it wasn't someone we were wanting and looking at and all that kind of stuff. And everyone was right to complain about it. It was a panic buy. It's a guy that's been injured a lot for the last 2 years. And ultimately, at his age, when you start getting muscle injuries, they don't just clear up. So as long as he stays, no one ever doubted this guy's quality. I mean, everyone knows Cavani is class, and he's a finisher. His movement off the ball. If he stays healthy, listen, long may man like Tarzan beat his chest and get it done. Because as long as he's kissing the badge and making it happen, I got time for it.
100%, man. He was so unfortunate hitting the post at the end, didn't it?
Man, how did that not go in, bro?
Yeah, I know, man. It did everything right. It would have been an assist for Bruno as well.
Yeah, I scared my family when that happened because it was kind of quiet for a moment. And when
that Bruno goal, I screamed so bloody much. What an absolute banger of a free kick. To be fair, Sean, I'm going to ask you a question I've not asked anyone today because it completely slipped my mind. From what I'm aware of, we've got West Ham next. How important is this? In the FA Cup, that is. How important is this FA Cup trophy for you? Like, do you think, it's something that we need to go for? We need to get silverware, obviously.
Absolutely. No, I don't care about all there. For me, I'm different. So I don't see all this progress without winning stuff.
I agree.
Me, finishing second, no trophies. Okay, good. But I'm not happy. So for me, every competition, I want to win it. But I have to say this. If we're not going to win it, I'd rather lose early and focus on the league because I don't want to have another one of these get to the semi.
Imagine we get to semi-final again. We've got Man City again, and we lose to them.
Bro, I can't do it. I cannot go through one of those.
£500, man.
Because that becomes a mentality too. A part of me wants to see us get there just to get the breakthrough. But
it's all about overcoming those mental obstacles, and like tonight, I think we've definitely done that. As we mentioned, coming behind, a lot of people, it's been well documented, as I said earlier, that we've not been the top team this season. I've been one of the people to say that, and today we've done that. Look, end of the day, I don't care about Liverpool's situation. This is Liverpool Football Club. It's Man United v Liverpool. It's rivalry. It doesn't matter in the past. They could be literally 15th and they'll turn up in this game. And to be fair to them, in moments, I thought they were going to win it. But we dug in deep and we delivered. And that's all you can ask for in a cup game. Fantastic game of football as well, man. I must add, it was a really good game of football.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
But listen, you've given your man of the match. So I just want to finish on what were your thoughts on the defence? We haven't really mentioned the defence. I don't. In fact, do we really want to finish on negative? Let's finish on a positive. Allow the defense. I don't know. Finish. What would you take away? What are the positives you're taking away from this game?
The positives is that we're developing a team mentality where doesn't matter who we're playing, we can go behind and have the belief that we can score again and come back. Now we have to stop conceding this first goal. Always coming from behind. That magic stardust will eventually stop sprinkling. So we have to tighten some things up and not. But listen, I understand how our manager has players that he's close to and really likes. And we all know that Eric Bailly is the key possibly to even us winning the league. Because if he stays fit and we play him, he makes our team better because we can play different with him. I'm not saying he's better than Vic. He has attributes that changes how we play. We play higher up the pitch. Maguire looks a million times better. So, and we know Maguire's not getting dropped because he's the captain. So for me, if it's got to be Vic or Harry and playing next to Eric, and when those things are happening and Eric stays healthy, my positive is that eventually I know that Ollie's going to have to make a choice where, look, I know that Victor's my guy or Harry Maguire is my guy, but eventually he's got to really trust this partnership and stick with it in the league and keep Bailly playing because we know he could be hurt any minute. So let's just play them. You know, let's get as many wins as we can, because that's the thing United are doing well. You know, we have to get wins. All this, I'd rather get a loss from time to time and keep winning than to start playing safe, getting draws, because that's why Liverpool are behind us. You know, they have so many draws. And I know in the moment we say a draw is a good result, but sometimes it's not.
Absolutely, man. I hear what you're saying. In terms of what you said regarding Bailly, Lindelof, Maguire, again, I think it comes down to similar with Shaw and Telles. Look, they're all spurring each other on. You've got to step up, otherwise you're going to get benched. And I love that, man. And at the moment, look, Ollie's rotating the squad fantastically well. I think that's kind of gone under the radar. A lot of the people that he's brought in when he's rotated the squad have delivered, and a lot of our players are fresh. Bruno got his rest today. I know he got a substitute on the last 20 minutes, but Bruno really needed that rest.
Yeah.
And, you know, Van der Beek came and did a job, and we got through. That's the most important thing. Yeah, in terms of positives, there's a lot to shout about. But Sean, as always, absolute pleasure. We'll have to get you on very soon, whenever the next podcast is.
Yeah, man, I'm almost ready to sell the house. All you can see, it's getting a little barren here in the basement. Just got the theater room. I got it all emptied out. And so once I'm on the market and get relocated, I'll be back on a more consistent basis.
Obviously. Sean is a regular on our platform now, so you'd love to see it. Just before we go, Sean, as I've said to every other guest, tell the people where they can find you, bro.
Well, on that madness, that's football Twitter at WWReds_show. And eventually I'll go over to the YouTube channel, subscribe to Worldwide Reds Show. And when I can get posting videos and going live soon after I move, it'll be happening again in 2021.
Yeah, you love to see it. Listen, Sean, as always, an absolute pleasure talking to you and obviously celebrating that fantastic penalty from Bruno Fernandes.
Love to see it.
I'll chat to you soon, bro.
Yeah, bro. Blessings.
God bless, man. God bless. Absolute legend. That is Sean. My beard is looking very long. But anyway, our last guest, last but not least, my brother, the one that does all the channel art. If you love the channel art, listen, go shout Wasp. He's the guy who sorts out. But anyways, let's get him on. Manchester United will be a Liverpool fan calling show. As always, Usmaan Talks United is the Twitter page that you need to go if you want to call in. Make sure you follow me as well, actually. I've not even said that at all on the show, which is a bit stupid on my part. Drop a like if you are still watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. This show is literally about you. You the fans, you the listeners, you the viewers. Come on, have your say, basically. That's what it's all about. That is the reason we started this. We want to be as interactive as possible. We're a community. We're trying to build our community. And if you want to be a part of that, subscribe to the channel. Anyways, last but not least, Was, my brother, is going to come and join us. Obi Was Kenobi, Manchester United 3, Liverpool 2. You said 1-0 in the preview. I said 2-1 Manchester United. And I said there's going to be a winner last 10 minutes. So I think I've kind of nailed that today.
No, you're not having that. You're not having that.
I'm not having it because the score's wrong, but I pretty much nailed the prediction. I've just got the score wrong in 3-2 instead of 2-1. But listen, forget that. Talk to me, boss. How are you feeling? You're always very positive. And at the moment, as a Man United fan, there's a lot to be positive about, man. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm buzzing, man. I was so happy that. Remember, I was saying yesterday about in the preview that the fact that we need to have I just want to see a positive game from both teams. I didn't want to see that 0-0 draw crap. Obviously, we can't get a draw in this one, so there had to be a winner. But I love the way United played, and even going behind, honest to God, I wasn't afraid at all. For the first half, there were moments in the halves, man, that I actually forgot we were playing Liverpool because it was that comfortable.
Same, to be honest.
I was like, who we play? I was like, oh, you play Liverpool. Only when I saw like Salah get the ball, I was like, oh my God, it's Liverpool. Because I think we were that comfortable. We just, that confidence just oozed through the team, man. It was just so nice to see. And just, everyone just was comfortable on the ball. They wanted it. Even going 1-0 down, which was a poor defensive error. And no one actually kind of blocked it or made any challenge. But other than that, I loved it. I loved it. And I wanted a performance and a result today because I think you can use as a catalyst to actually, go forward and actually, challenge for the league. Oh, actually, we're top, aren't we? Win the league.
Well, we say we're top. I'm assuming Liverpool I'm not Liverpool. Man City will overtake us. But Man City aside, like you just mentioned there, it could potentially be a catalyst, man. Look, it's a huge win for us. Our first time beating anyone of merit this season in the league, as in an English team, shall I say. Obviously, we're beating PSG and RB Leipzig earlier. But in terms of other players, right, how important is it for them to consistently go behind. You said yourself, you know, we 1-0 down, great goal from Liverpool. On the watch along, I was very calm. I don't know if you watched it at any point, but when we conceded, I was really calm. I wasn't mad. Look, I was upset with the defending, don't get me wrong. I thought it was poor from our perspective, but I was calm because I still thought, no, early in the game, you know, we stay in the game, and we came back with a brilliant goal. You know, Rashford playing the ball over to Greenwood. It just beats Milner. Great first touch, great second touch. You really wouldn't think he's someone off form, and just completely dispatched it, really.
Yeah, I mean, even going 1-0 behind, I didn't really feel that phased. I didn't really think, oh, we're not going to get back. Maybe because it was quite early in the half as well. And prior to the goal, we were actually playing all right, playing some good football. Everyone was moving about, trying to, you know, asking for the ball. There were a couple of good chances. I mean, in the first half, especially, I was a bit peed off with Greenwood not squaring it to whoever was running into the box. Was it Varney or someone? Or twice, I did it twice. Was it Van de Beek? Yeah, I was quite disappointed that he didn't square it. I mean, I know he wants a goal. He needed a goal. He could tell it, you know, he's young and stuff. Like, when you're inexperienced, you do things like that. And he's a striker at the end of the day. He needs his goal to get that confidence. But he took his goal. When he got his opportunity, he took that so well. I was like, it's just clean strike. And you're beating a world-class keeper as well there as well. He was just too good of a shot. A brilliant ball from Rashford as well.
Yeah, fantastic finish there. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think he has to pass that. Obviously, you know, I hear that point. He's not scored in ages. He needed a goal. He did need a goal. Now, I've said on numerous occasions, if we are going to go to win the league, the players like, you know, Martial, Cavani, obviously Greenwood in particular, them three, and they need to chip in with goals, and they've done that today. Obviously, you know, Cavani hitting the post a bit later on. And I think Pogba as well, he's had to step up as well. What were your thoughts on the midfield performances was?
Yeah, Paul Pogba. I think Paul Pogba ran that midfield. Van de Beek playing slightly advanced, like almost like a number 10 position. He was really good, but I don't know if he knows that role that well. I don't know if it suits him. Not as much as Bruno. I didn't really. I mean, I was glad to see him on the team sheet and stuff, but for me, I think Pogba ran that midfield, and slightly behind him, McTominay. I'm not the biggest fan of McTominay. I'm not going to like slag him off, and I have no agenda or anything against him. But for me, he takes too many touches, and then he tries to do that Hollywood pass. But today, what happened is because against the high press of Liverpool, or really the intensity is high. We know that they're probably one of the best in the leagues at that. You're going to get caught out 2 or 3 months over, you know, around you. As soon as you get the ball, they swarm you, kind of thing. And it happened a couple of times where he lost the ball. He tackles, he gets the ball, does all the hard work, and then he just dwells on it too long. You just got to release it. I know he's trying to get into the game and showcase his own skills, but sometimes you have to play more of a disciplined role. That is not his natural role. I understand that, but that was my only concern. But Paul Pogba, man, he was silently brilliant. Silently brilliant. He did what he had to do. He was pretty much everywhere. Defensively, I thought he was better than even going forward today, which was good.
Yeah, no. I thought defensively he was brilliant. He was outstanding for me defensively. I thought he was winning every single second ball. He was putting 110% his body on the line. And there was so many 50-50s that he was just winning, man. Like, he was just getting himself over the line. And that's what you want to see from him. At the end of the day, as a Man United fan, you want to see all your players giving 110%, especially in a game of this magnitude for us. Like, this is such a huge game for us. It's Liverpool. It's a cup game. You know, this is the opportunity to kick out one of the favourites for the trophy as well, which of course we've done. And I look, at the end of the day, we've got the job done. That's the most important thing. You did mention McTominay passing the ball around a lot, and honest to God, I said passing the ball around, I meant losing the ball a lot. He's taking way too many touches. I think thought he was playing against Leeds again. You can't do that against the better teams. As you said, they're going to swarm us, and you know, at the end of the day, he's going to have to learn from that. But what we will say, they're not DMs. He's not a DM, and neither is Pogba. So, in that sense, we conceded 2 poor goals, but look, we got the job done against Liverpool. It wasn't a boring game. We did go to him. I thought we were the better team prior to the goal. So, you know, fair play to the boys. In terms of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, what are your thoughts on the manager? Obviously, you know, another brilliant win for him, really.
Yeah, I mean, recently I've given him a lot of stick regarding team selection, you know, in-game management, regarding substitutions, how late he does it. He waits too long, dwells on it, But today I think he got it. I think he got it right. I mean, the team selection was fine. There was no like qualms over that. But Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's nothing. I mean, he did really, really well. I mean, even bringing Bruno on, because you can see Bruno on the bench, he was like sat on the bench and just dying to get onto the pitch. He's one of those kind of guys. He just wants to play it. I know he's probably tired, needs a rest and all that, but and look at the influence he had. Obviously, not many people could have even scored that free kick as well. It was just a clever free kick as well. So, I mean, I think Ollie deserves a lot of credit today. You know, normally I'm kind of giving him stick regardless, regarding the substitutions and all that delay with things. But today I think he got it right, and he needs a pat on the back today as well, because we're beating Liverpool, our biggest rivals, and he set up. Today what I felt was there was like a positive energy in the team. We went negative. We didn't park no buses. We actually kind of took it to them without being too gung ho as well. It was a good balance. I don't know where that came from. Maybe players like Pogba who actually took it upon them to actually, take the mantle and show the rest of the younger players. We have got a young team in it. So yeah, I think he did well, Ali, overall.
Yeah, no doubt. I completely agree with that. I think Ali definitely deserves a lot of credit. The substitutions for me with the right, so it was Fred and Bruno were needed to freshen the legs and just to get a bit of sort of control back in the midfield, because we seemed like the game was getting taken away from us. And look, at the end of the day, that was a credit to Liverpool. I thought they were brilliant, actually, to be fair, most in long points of the game. I think, to be honest, if you are a Liverpool fan watching that, you probably take a lot of positives as well, although they lost. But Liverpool aside, let's come back to a couple of positives. What would you say you taken away from the game the most then?
Well, the fact that we're through, I mean, beating our biggest rivals, that's one massive thing. Psychologically, we need those psychological wins rather than actually the 3 points, or in this case, like going through the next one. It's more of like something in our minds, to get over that hurdle. When you beat someone like Liverpool, I think, we're the champions of England and stuff like that, I think it means a lot. So that is the massive plus. Plus, our big players performing. Players like Pogba, Luke Shaw had an amazing game today. I thought it was really, really good. Some positioning errors defensively, maybe, but I mean, going forward and just being involved, and he showed a lot of strength. I saw him like shoulder barging loads of mans, just throwing him off the ball and that, and I like that. And he's very good aerially as well. Also like Rashford, I want to see more. I'm so happy that Rashford actually came to played really, really well today, like driving at the defense. That's what I wanted to see, especially with inexperience in the back today, which I think Klopp made a mistake there, throwing him into a big game like that young kid.
Potentially, I just thought the mistake was more that he didn't really give him any protection, as myself and Kojo were saying earlier when he was on. He left him with Thiago to help cover, but at the end of the day, we exploited that sort of mistake from there. As you mentioned, Shaw has been fantastic. He was at fault for the first goal. I must add that. You guys know how much a fan of Shaw I am. I've always defended him. Apart from recently, actually, prior to his good form of late, I finally was like, no, I've had enough of defending him. And he stepped up, man. Tellers did a really good interview as well, saying, no, I'm happy for Shaw. End of the day, we're trying to motivate each other. That just shows great sort of camaraderie within the dressing room. And that's what you want to see. But in terms of moving forward, Was got a huge game against Sheffield United. Obviously, we will be back with a preview on Tuesday. But just to finish off, who's the man of the match and why?
Oof, man of the match. Do you know what I'm going to give it to? No one else is. I'm going to give it to Cavani.
Okay.
I tell you know what? Like, remember what I said when I didn't want Cavani? He's too old. Is this that? I take that all back. I took it back a long while ago, but I take it back again. The guy, his experience got that free kick. It was a foul, but he won that free kick. There's no doubt about it. He's just got that in his mind. He's moving. The guy never stops. He was everywhere. And the fact that you guys are saying, Sean was saying about the header. I mean, the fact that he gave a bit of a bollocking to Greenwood, the experience he's showing to them, to the younger lads as well. I thought the guy was just unbelievable today without scoring. He was just that kind of wise head you need in the team. And I'm his biggest fan now. So Kojo, Benji, lay off me, man. I
love him, man. Honestly, I actually do.
Yeah, no, I understand why.
Because the keeper didn't move as well. It would have been so beautiful if that goes in to see a celebration, to seal the game. But I hear you, man. I just think he's just been a breath of fresh air, man. He's really setting the precedent. He's He's got the mentality. He's basically a role model, isn't he? At the end of the day, to these younger lads. Look, Rashford and Greenwood, Martial as well. You know, Martial's not that young really at the moment, but in terms of Rashford and Greenwood in particular, looking at Cavani, looking at his desire, his work rate to win the game as well, you just got to admire him, man. He's a proper workhorse, and as long as we can keep him fit, we've got a chance, man. The guy's got everything, man. He's got ability in the air, can hold the ball, he can run it behind, he can play the right pass, man. What a signing that has been, man. Pure luck in terms of the way we got him, but what a signing that's been. But whilst, listen, I completely agree with you. Thank you for finishing off the show. As always, make sure you
subscribe, guys. We're trying to get to 1K.
Obviously, make sure you subscribe to our channel, drop a like. I'm just going to kick us off now and obviously finish off the show. Yeah, so I'll chat to you guys in a... Well, I don't know why I'm signing out. Whilst I'll chat to you in a bit. That's what I was trying to say. But yeah, thank you. Right, I came to wrap up the show. Just give you my thoughts quickly in the space of a minute or so. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you are still tuning in. Just want to say first and foremost, thank you everyone for the support on this sort of series that we've started. It's been brilliant to hear from you guys, man. Look, at the end of the day, this video here right now that we're doing is about you guys. It's about giving you guys a chance to come have your say on the platform. You know, regardless of who you may think you are in terms of if you're a big account, if you're a small account in social media terms, we don't really care. It's literally, if you want to be involved with it, you're allowed to be involved. It doesn't matter. It's not about anything else but to let you guys come and speak. Usmaan Talks United on Twitter. Drop me a follow. Obviously, you can stay tuned to when we send a link out, that kind of stuff for each and individual show. Just to wrap it regarding my thoughts. Look, a lot of positives. Defensively, I've got to be honest, we're a bit poor. I was a bit disappointed with the goals we conceded. I've got to be honest. Luke Shaw for the first one. Second one, just a catalogue of errors really from everyone. Cavani, I thought, with the initial pass. And just from there, we didn't react, which wasn't good enough. But I thought Henderson should have saved it as well. But nonetheless, got to be positive. It's a cup game, but through to the next round. So many positives. Ollie choosing the right team, going for it. Donny van de Beek had a good game. Wasn't brilliant, wasn't poor. I thought he had a good game, first game in a while, steady performance, showing that he's got something to offer to the team. McTominay, for me, needs to do more. You know, there's too many touches on the ball. Paul Labal Pogba, a different side of the game is what we've witnessed today. Work ethic, you know, resilience to win the ball back, which was so integral on so many parts within the game. So many key battles that he won the midfield and drove us forward, and that's what you want to see, man. He was actually massively influential for the first goal with his brilliant tackle on the edge of our box. So Firmino wins the ball, stands up, runs past him, gets taken down, and obviously Van der Beek plays the ball to Rashford, who inverted, he passed it to Greenwood. Speaking of which, fantastic finish from him. Yes, a couple of moments where he was greedy. Nonetheless, it's understandable, as was suggested. He needs a goal, doesn't he? So I hear that completely. So yeah, I look, I'm not going to be overly critical of Greenwood. I never have been really, because he's a young lad and I know he's a star, but he's a talent. And look, the way he took that goal is that just shows he's ice cold. Look at Timo Werner, right? Well, the guy was battling it up in Germany, and you can look at the way he's playing at the moment. His confidence is on the floor. Greenwood not scoring 10 games. You would have never thought that the way he's took that with complete sheer confidence. And even prior to that, he's shooting from everywhere. You know, he's running out his plays. He's doing his thing, and that's what you want to see, man. A player with confidence. A player who probably shouldn't have confidence, playing with confidence, which is a breath of fresh air, which shows that the pressure does not get to him, and he's made for Man United. And he needed that goal. He needs to chip in with the goal, as I mentioned. On the left, Marcus Rashford, absolute phenomenal performance from him. He was actually man of the match. A lot of people haven't given it to him. I think we've had one man of the match for Rashford on the callers, but yeah, for me personally, Marcus Rashford quite comfortably was my man of the match. Pogba, yes, definitely second, and followed by Luke Shaw in third. I just thought Rashford took it to them. He put fear into them in the first half, and they were struggling, man. They didn't know what to do. They couldn't deal with him. They're trying to get Thiago to come back and obviously help out, and then Rashford put it through his leg and got taken out as well. So yeah, Rashford for me, man of the match, well deserving, as we've just mentioned. with Cavani as well. Brilliant, man. Just I'm so happy for the guy. Like I'm generally in awe of the guy. He's a exemplary role model to the younger lads. You know, he's of age, so to speak, in football terms, and he's just showing them how you should lead the line. Fantastic performance from him off the ball, and I'm gutted he didn't score. He hit the inside of the post. Alisson completely stood still, flat forward, whatever you call it. You just like can't do anything about it. It was that much quality on the head. It just wasn't meant to be. But brilliant. Bruno Fernandes coming off the bench. I was massively critical of him on the watch along. I thought he was giving the ball away too many times, very cheaply, but nonetheless, stepped up and he banged it into the corner, side netting absolutely perfect against a world-class keeper in Alisson, beats him at his own near post, and you know, at the end of the day, quality all round. Fair play to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You know, huge win for us in terms of mentality. We've overcome that duck, which is not beating the top team, and we've done it in emphatic fashion. 3-2 Manchester United through to the next round. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. If you want to get involved in the fan calling show, all you got to do is go to Usmaan Talks United. Follow me on Twitter. Very straightforward. Usmaan Talks United on Twitter, that is. Pardon me. Follow me, obviously, and then stay tuned for the link after the Sheffield United game, which I believe is on Wednesday. Yeah, apart from that, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for everyone who's called in. Obviously, you're much appreciated, and you're more than welcome to call in at any point. And if you are watching this back on repeat and you're thinking, I want to get involved, I'm shy, etc. You know, at the end of the day, you can just do audio. You don't have to show your face if you're not comfortable in doing so. And yeah, basically apart from that, it's been your boy Usmaan, Manchester United through to the next round with a very good 3-2 victory against Liverpool. Peace. We're back 7 p.m. tomorrow.